Hello, everybody. It is Saturday, April 11th, and welcome back to the Nick Watkins Show. I'm Nick Watkins. Let's get into it. We have a lot to talk about today, so let's start with the San Francisco Giants, who won yesterday. Final score 6-3 against the Baltimore Orioles on Friday Night Baseball in Baltimore from Camden Yards. The Giants won this game 6-3, 6 runs on 12 hits, and they committed the error. And the Orioles had 3 runs on 8 hits, no errors. The winning pitcher in this game was Landon Roop. Roop, 6 strong innings, gave up 1 earned run. He allowed 5 hits and 2 walks, and he struck out just 4 batters. But it was a strong start from Roop. That's what you want to see. Is obviously you want to see a win, and that's what we got. And only 1 run through 6 innings is pretty good. He got into some trouble, but he managed to escape. When he did get into trouble, only allowed the 1 run. So I think it's a nice start for Landon Roop. Puts him at 2-1 on the year, and I especially like it because his last start was against the Mets, did not go very well, and this is a strong bounce back. This is more like his first start of the year. This is closer to what he did in his first start of the year when he was dazzling. So good start from Landon. And then the losing pitcher was Shane Baz, who gave up 9 hits on over 5 innings, 2 walks as well. Those will go for 3 earned runs, and he struck out 4. Likely be able to jump on the starter. That's a common theme that I'm noticing for these Giants is when we are scoring runs, it's because we're jumping on the starter early. We're getting runs off the starter. When the bullpen comes in, we already have that lead established. Maybe we tack on a few more against the bullpen guys, but most of our damage comes against the starter to get us ahead, and then we just go from there and win the game. So that's what I'm noticing from these Giants is when they are scoring runs, it's off the starter. And then let's go through the lineup. Adames 2 for 5. Adames hit his second homer of the year. Willie Adames has an extra base hit in the last 5 games, something like that, 4 games. 2 of them last night. I love that he's going to the opposite field. And yeah, Willie Adames has an extra base hit in 4 games in a row. Started in that Philadelphia series, he went double, 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 and then today a home run. And a lot of these hits are going the opposite field. He's waiting on the pitch, and he's taking it the other way, having a great balanced approach. I love what I'm seeing from Adames. Yes, there was that slow start to his season, but if you also remember, last year his start was even worse because he was trying to prove that he was worth the contract in like 1 game. And you can't do that. But once he realized that and he started playing, more like himself, not trying to be somebody he's not, that's when he started going crazy. And I guess we're seeing that again on a smaller version where the year didn't get out to the greatest start for him, but now he's settled in. He has a new approach trying to go the opposite field. And that is for sure paying off because he has a ton of hits in his last 4 games. And loving what I've been seeing from Willie Adames. Luis Ariz 0 for 3, but he had 2 walks. Chappie 2 for 4. Devers had a hit. I would have liked to see Rafi be a little bit more involved in the offense. However, we did score 6 runs and got the win, so I'm not complaining. Casey Schmidt. Casey Schmidt moved up to the 5 hole today, and he went 3 for 5. He had 3 doubles in this game. He had an RBI, and he scored 2 runs. Great game from Casey Schmidt. And I think if that's a sign of things to come, that's great. He was DHing on this one. And I really like that. I love this offensive performance. Anytime you get 3 hits, it's outstanding. But every time you go 3 for 5 with 3 doubles, that's even better. So very happy about that for Casey. Jung Hoo, maybe he had 2 extra base hits last night. Lots of extra base hits for the Giants last night. And Jung Hoo's the guy who was struggling mightily. And here he comes, 2 for 4, double and a home run. He had 2 RBIs in this game. Like that a lot. I'm going to go close that because it's kind of loud. All right, we're back now. Ramos went 1 for 4. He had an RBI. Patrick Bailey had a hit. Bader, unfortunately, got robbed of a home run. which does suck. Really feels like he can't buy a hit right now. But hey, I'm sure he'll be fine. And then as for the bullpen, we had Matt Gage went 1/3 of an inning. Um, Brubaker, he went 2/3 of an inning and got a strikeout. Keaton Wynn, solid inning in relief, and then Blade Tidwell came in with a 5-run lead in the ninth inning. Gave up a 2-run homer to Gunnar Henderson, but ended up finishing off the game. So, not the best outing there, but he managed to get the win anyway, secure the win for the ball club. Look, I just thought this was a really nice game from the Giants. I like the amount of extra base hits we had. We had a lot of them. And yeah, I mean, it's just a nice win. And this is our fourth win in a row, or sorry, our third win in a row. Um, Feels like we haven't lost a game in a while. But this season it's a long season, and less than a week ago we were calling for heads to roll, and now we won 3 games in a row, 6-8 now. Look, I mean, we kind of got a chance to um, get right back in that 500 area and right back in that playoff conversation. I don't know. But that was a solid game for the Giants. I'm happy with it, and we'll go through some other scores from around the league. Pirates, Cubs, Mlodzinski went 5 1/3 shutout. Montgomery got the win though, and the loss went to Teal Bar. Shota Imanaga struck out 9 over 6 no-hit innings. When he came out of the game, then the Cubs let up the 2 runs from the Pirates, and that was the final 2-0. Dennis Santana got the save. The Tigers beat the Marlins 2-0. Montero, 6 shutout innings, struck out 7 for the win. Paddock gave up 2 over 6 innings for the loss, and Jansen got the save. The D-backs beat the Phillies 5-4. Soroka got the win. He's been excellent so far. He's 3-0. Luzardo got the loss. The save went to Paul Sewald. The Angels beat the Reds 10-2. The winning pitcher was Kachanowicz, who went 7 1-run innings. Chase Burns got the loss, 5 over 5 1/3. The Blue Jays beat the Twins 10-4. Patrick Corbin was the starter for the Blue Jays, but Mantiply got the win. He struck out the side in the 5th inning. I got the win for it. The loss went to Woods Richardson. The A's beat the Mets 4-0. The winning pitcher was Perkins. The losing pitcher was Clay Holmes. The Rays beat the Yankees 5-3. Yankees have dropped 3 games in a row. The winning pitcher was Matz, who was pretty good. The losing pitcher was Heel, and the save went to Baker. The Braves beat the Guardians 11-5. The winning pitcher was Kinley. The losing pitcher was Ciccone. The Royals beat the White Sox 2-0. The winning pitcher was Chris Bubich. 7 innings, gave up no runs on 2 hits and a walk, struck out 11. The losing pitcher was Martin, who went 7 innings, gave up 2 runs, and Ursek got the save. The Nats beat the Brewers 7-3. Winning pitcher was Pauline, and the winning pitcher was Pauline. The losing pitcher was McGill, who looks like he blew the save in this one. Yep. Or no, he did not blow a save. Anyway, the Cardinals beat the Red Sox 3-2. Winning pitcher was Dustin May. Losing pitcher was Kelly, and the save went to O'Brien, his 4th. The Padres walked off the Rockies for the second night in a row, 5-2 final score. Winning pitcher was Mason Miller, who struck out the side. Mason Miller is so good. And Mejia got the loss in this one. Walk-off bomb from Gavin Sheets, 434 feet. That's a missile. All right. The Mariners beat the Astros 9-6. Hancock got the win. The loss went to Weiss, and it looks like Imai did not have a very good outing. 37 pitch first inning, only got 1 out, and gave up 3 earned runs. Pretty amazing that they actually only got out of the inning, allowing 3. Yeah, it was a tough first inning for him. He did not make it out of the first inning. The Dodgers walked off the Rangers 8-7. Winning pitcher was Edwin Diaz, even though he did blow the save. The loss went to Latz, and Max Muncy hit the walk-off home run. And the Giants. So let's look ahead to today. All the matchups we got going on. There are some. I mean, everybody's playing, so let's take a look. The D-backs are in Philadelphia, playing up against the Phillies. You got Fott versus Taiwan Walker. We got Jansen Jung for the Marlins against Casey Mize for the Tigers. The Pirates will start Braxton Ashcraft against Edward Cabrera for the Cubbies. The Twins and the Blue Jays face off Joe Ryan versus Eric Lauer. The A's are in New York to take on the Mets. Jacob Lopez against Kodai Senga. The White Sox start Fetty against the Royals, who put out Michael Wacha. It's going to be George Klassen going for the Halos against Brennan Williamson for Cincy. The Yanks and the Rays, Max Fried versus Nick Martinez, who both have been very good this year, especially Fried. The Nats put up Foster Griffin. The Brewers will put up the former Giants player Kyle Harrison, who I'm a big fan of. The Sox and the Cardinals, the Red Sox. Ranger Suarez looking to have his first really good start. He has not had one yet for Boston. Against St. Louis, it's Lehigh, or Leahy, I don't know. Parker Messick against Martin Perez, guards, Braves. The Rockies and the Pods, we got Feltner versus Marquez. The Rangers are taking on the Dodgers. Leiter versus Sheehan. And then you got McCullers versus Castillo in the Astros-Mariners game. As for the Giants and the O's, it's going to be Logan Webb making his fourth start of the year. Had a loss in his first one, rough start. Had a win in his second one, and you could argue that the start against the Mets 5 days ago in the no decision was maybe his best one. He went the deepest, and he allowed the least amount of runs. But he's going to be making his fourth start today, looking for a good one against the Baltimore Orioles, looking to have an ace-like outing. And then Chris Bassett will pitch for Baltimore. Like, it's going to be a good game today, I think. I mean, both teams are fighting for wins, trying to get those wins. And it's going to be on Fox, on Saturday Night Baseball, on national TV. I'm looking for the Giants to continue to hit the ball well, look for some more extra base hits, just keep stacking up those doubles and home runs and throw in some triples too if you can. But I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to go well for the Giants because we got Logan Webb on the mound. So that's how I'm feeling about it. I feel like it's going to be a good Giants win today, thanks to a couple extra base hits and Logan Webb's amazing performance. So that's what I think is going to happen. That's baseball. Let's go on to basketball because nobody played in hockey yesterday. So we'll recap some basketball scores. There is no basketball today, so we'll recap the scores. The Lakers beat the Suns 101-73. The Blazers over the Clippers 116-97. So that's big in the Western Conference because it means that the Blazers are now ahead of the Clippers, where they have the same record, but the Blazers have the tiebreaker thanks to this win. So what does that mean? It means that the Blazers now control their own destiny to the 8th seed. And basically, if they win on Sunday, they get two chances to make the playoffs. They get to go to Phoenix and then host the winner of Clippers Warriors if they were to lose the Phoenix game. And for the Clippers, if by losing this game, they have now put themselves in a position where they cannot control their own destiny. They would, if the Blazers win tomorrow, have to play the Warriors at home. And if they lose, then they're done. So that's pretty interesting. The Wolves beat the Rockets 136-132. Very close game. Is it Amen Thompson? Amen Thompson dropped 41 points and 9 rebounds, 7 assists. KD 33, 7 and 7. Wolves were dropping points like crazy. Kyle Anderson played 33 minutes. It looks like the Wolves were resting a little bit while the Rockets are fighting full strength. And the Wolves still won. So what does that tell you about that? The Jazz beat the Grizzlies 147-101. The Nuggets beat the Thunder 127-107. Not a surprise, though, because nobody was playing in this game. Literally nobody was playing. I mean, well, that's not true. I mean, people were playing. But Jokic, Murray, Gordon, Johnson, Braun, Watson all did not play and SGA, Caruso, Hartenstein, Joe, Holmgren, Williams, Wallace, Mitchell, and I guess Sorber did not. Sorber is short ACL. So basically, nobody played in this one, so it's just a matchup of the benches, and the Nuggets pulled it off. The Magic beat the Bulls 127-103, and this is important because of what happened around the East as well. The Bucks beat the Nets. The Spurs managed to beat the Mavericks, even though Cooper Flag dropped 33. Wemby dropped 40 and 13, so that's a great game from him. The Celtics beat the Pelicans 144-118, meaning that they have secured their spot as the 2 seed. And then the 76ers beat the Pacers 105-94, did what they had to do. And this was an important game here. The Knicks beat the Raptors 112-95. So now the Raptors are in the Eastern Conference, tied with the Magic. They still have the tiebreaker, but they are tied with the Magic having the same record. All right, other games. The Pistons managed to beat the Hornets 118-100, so the Hornets are now locked into the playoff. The Heat beat the Wizards 140-117. The Hawks beat the Cavaliers 124-102. So what does this mean for the Eastern Conference? Well, it means that the Celtics are now firmly secure as the 2 seed, and the Knicks are firmly secure as the 3 seed because of the Cavaliers' loss and because of the wins by the Knicks and the Celtics. That means that 1 through 4 is set. It cannot change. It cannot go up and down. Everybody can rest all their starters for heading into the playoffs. They can rest them today, obviously, because there are no games, and tomorrow. And it means that 1 through 4 is set. Every team that will host a playoff game cannot go up or down in the seedings, but the rest of it is still very much alive. The Hawks are the only team outside of the top 4 to have clinched with their win yesterday. They can still go down, but they can't go up. And then the Raptors, I think, are the only team who can jump the Hawks. So I think the Hawks would still be playing tomorrow, trying to secure the 5 seed, which would send them to Cleveland as opposed to New York. But you look at all the other teams, the Raptors and the Magic are still alive. They're the only 2 who can avoid the play-in. The Sixers did win, but because of the Hawks win, they're not going to be able, I don't think they're going to be able to catch the Raptors and the Magic. The Hornets, however, are solidified in the play-in, though. I think they might still be able to jump up, but I don't expect them to because of the 76ers record, or not the 76ers who they're going to play, which is the Bucks. The Sixers definitely the easiest last 2 games, but the Heat and the Hornets are now secure in the play-in. The 76ers, I think, can still make it up, but I would not expect them to because the Celtics will be resting their starters, and the Magic play them, and the Nets are who the Raptors have to play. So even though the Sixers did have a favorable last 2 games, I think they're going to be in the play-in. The question is, are they going to be going to Orlando or going to Toronto? If I had to guess, I think that both teams are probably going to win because of the Raptors, who they play, and because the Celtics will be resting their starters. In my opinion, I think that's what's going to happen. We don't know that for sure, but I think either way, even if the Celtics do, actually that's not true. If the Celtics were to play, then the Magic would probably lose that game. But they have won 5 in a row, so you never know. But I'm probably going to take the Raptors to just stay in that 6 seed. It is interesting, though, because if the Hawks were to win, then the Hawks would have jumped the Raptors, and they'd be the 5. But I'm going to take the Raptors to make it out of the play-in, and yeah, just because of how the tiebreakers and the records work. But I can, if it was going to be a different team, I might take. Well, I'd have to take Orlando because if the Celtics were resting. But maybe the Sixers can do something. Maybe they can get some luck. That's the East. Then here's the Western Conference. The Thunder and the Spurs, they're way up at the top. But the Nuggets, with their 11th consecutive win, they are not clear of the Lakers, I don't think. Tiebreakers would come into effect there. But the Lakers did win yesterday. And that means that they are now a full game up on the Houston Rockets with just 1 game to go. Now, the Nuggets are clear of the Rockets, but they are not clear of the Lakers, I think. So the Nuggets, even though they did rest everybody yesterday, they did win because the Thunder were also resting. But if I had to guess here, I'm Probably going to say that it just stays the way it is because the Nuggets are going up against the Spurs, who will probably also be resting their starters. And then the Lakers, their draw is the Utah Jazz, which is an easy game. And then the Rockets also have an easy game in the Memphis Grizzlies. So, I mean, I think that all the teams would win because the Nuggets will be playing more people than the Spurs because they still wouldn't necessarily be safe in that 3 seed. So I think it's just going to stay the way it is. And the Timberwolves, they are also secure. They're not going up and down. And you look at the Suns, this in the 7th seed, they're not going anywhere. The question is which of the Blazers and the Clippers will be 8 and 9. The Warriors have been set for a while. They're staying where they are at 10. The question is who's going to go to Phoenix and who's going to host the Warriors. If I had to guess, the Blazers play the Kings, which is an easy game. The Clippers play the Warriors. I think it's a question of are the Warriors going to be playing anybody? Because if so, it's an easy win for the Clippers, but I think the Blazers are going to beat the Kings regardless. So I'm probably going to take Portland just because of matchups wise. I mean, we definitely could see it go a different direction. The Kings did beat the Warriors. And it's going to depend on are the Kings even playing for anything? Are they going to continue to try and tank with one game to go? But if I had to guess my prediction, I'd probably say that the only movement we're going to see, I don't think we're going to see any movement in the West. If I had to predict it, I don't think we're going to see any Western movement. I think 1 through 10 is going to be the way it is heading into the playoffs. I think it's not going to change regardless of results tomorrow because I think every single team that can move up and down is going to win. So nobody's going to change. That's my prediction about that. So that's the NBA. There are no games today. All eyes turn to tomorrow to see. Now for hockey, it's kind of the other way around. Nobody played yesterday. Nobody played yesterday. Everybody else play. Everybody. So now everybody's playing today. I should double check. That's 4, that's 8, that's 12, 13, 14, 15. There are 32 teams in the league. Is that correct? Was it uneven because of the Kraken? Yeah, 32 teams in the league. So somebody's not playing. No, 13, 14, yeah, 13, 14, 15. Who's not playing? Who's having double off days? It's not us. Who cares, right? Is it maybe Calgary? No, Calgary's playing. I want to find out who's not playing. I see the Caps and the Penguins. Uh, Islanders. Yep, they play. Is everybody playing? I mean, you'd assume so. What about Anaheim? I don't see Anaheim. Okay, so not Anaheim. I see Vancouver. We're playing Vancouver. How about Utah? 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 Columbus? No. Well, that's odd. Who cares, right? I don't think the Ducks are playing. I don't know who else isn't playing. So every team but two is playing today. And we got some big matchups. So let's just preview everything going into the day. The Eastern Conference looks like this with 108 points and well, yeah, you clinched the division. Hang on, everybody. I'll be right back. All right, where were we? I think we were at hockey. So let's get back into that hockey. Here's the Eastern Conference for the NHL. The Carolina Hurricanes have 108 points. They're in first place, just 2 up on the Buffalo Sabres. Now, here's an interesting thing. The Montreal Canadiens have won 2 games in a row, 9 of their last 10. They have moved up into third place because the Tampa Bay Lightning have lost 3 games in a row. So the Canadiens have 104 and the Lightning have 102. So the Habs are now in third place. That's very interesting. If they could just win, well, sorry, I was thinking like NBA, but yeah, that is very interesting. And all those teams have clinched. The team in the 5 seed, 4 points down on the Lightning. They are the Pittsburgh Penguins. They have also clinched the playoffs. They have 98 points. Down from them are the Boston Bruins, who have lost 2 games in overtime in a row. They are 5-5 in the last 10 games. They are in sixth with 96. They still haven't clinched the playoffs, but I'm sure they could very soon. In seventh, 2 points down, are the Ottawa Senators with 94 points. Then, with 92 points and holding the final spot in the East, the Philadelphia Flyers, they are in eighth. Now, there are a couple of teams who still haven't been mathematically eliminated. The Detroit Red Wings have 91 points. They're just 1 point back of the Flyers. They're in ninth. The Islanders also have 91 points. They're just 1 point back. They're in 11th. Or, sorry. Yeah, the Islanders. That's what I said, right? Islanders. They're in 10th. The Islanders have 91 points as well. They are in 10th. The Blue Jackets have 90 points. They are in 11th. In 12th, the Washington Capitals with 89 points. And that is the Eastern Conference. Those are all the teams that are still alive, and that's how the playoffs look. We could be seeing some changes. I mean, the top, they're all separated by 2 points. There are 4 games left, or more than that. I don't know how many games are left, but yeah, we could see some movement. The top of the East is very close. We'll have to see if anybody moves around, and those final wildcard spots not out of reach. The Flyers only 3 points up on the worst team out of the bunch, which is the Capitals with 89 points, point-wise the worst. So it's definitely still up for grabs. We could see a lot of movement, and that's how the Eastern Conference looks. Here's what the West looks like. In first, Colorado Avalanche, they have clinched the 1 seed. They have 114 points. In second, the Dallas Stars, they have 106 points. And then 4 points back from them are the Minnesota Wild. They have 102 points. So just 4 points back. They still can catch the Stars. Will they? We'll have to see. In fourth place, the Utah Mammoth. So 1 through 4 are all in the Central. That's very interesting. The Mammoth have 90, they're in fourth. But they would go to the winner of the Pacific. That's how it's going to work. So the Oilers are that team. They also have 90 points. They are in fifth. But, I mean, really, the Mammoth are going to have to go on the road in the first round to play the winner of the Pacific. That's just how it's going to work. Which is kind of dumb. All right. Right? I mean, isn't that how it would work? I think so. I'm not really sure. But the Oilers, they are in fifth with 90 points, 1 point up on the Golden Knights and the Ducks, who both have 89 points. And then the final wildcard spot is held by the Los Angeles Kings with 85 points. Back from there, the Preds are in ninth with 84 points. So just 1 point back of Los Angeles. The Jets are 3 points back of Los Angeles, 82 points. San Jose Sharks, 81 points, 4 points back of the Kings. Still alive, not playing the best hockey right now, but still alive. And the Kraken are also still alive, but maybe not for much longer. They've dropped 8 of 10, and they have 77 points. So here are the games going on today. The Lightning and the Bruins, the Senators and the Islanders. Those are the 2 playoff teams, the teams in the wildcard spots in the East. The Capitals and the Penguins, the Oilers and the Kings, so that's a big game. Devils, Red Wings, the Blues and the Blackhawks, the Wild and the Preds, Rangers, Stars, Hurricanes, Mammoth, the Panthers and the Maple Leafs, the Blue Jackets and the Canadiens, the Flyers and the Jets, the Flames and the Kraken, and the Golden Knights and the Avalanche. So look, for the Sharks, today the Sharks play the Vancouver Canucks, the worst team in the league. If you look around and see who everybody else is playing, the Kings have to play the Oilers. The Preds have to play the Wild. The Jets They have to play the Flyers. This is the best chance for the Sharks to gain points. And it's probably going to be the best chance for the rest of the year. The Kings have a tough matchup. The Predators have a very tough matchup. And the Jets also have a tough matchup. Look, I mean, it's got to be now or never, right? If the Sharks lose this game, that's basically it. Because you'd expect the other three teams ahead of us to lose. And it's got to be today. The Sharks have to win this game. And if they don't, then the season is basically over. Because this is a chance to gain 2 points on every team in front of us. If we can't do that today, I don't think we are going to in the remainder of the games. Because this is the best chance the Sharks have. If they don't win today, I'd say it's over. So we have to win today. Looking for a great game from the whole team today to get those 2 points. And I think that's going to do it. Yeah, it's big day today. It's gonna do it for today. And thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.